All right, so today is Friday, the 24th. We are opening our stand tomorrow for the first time. So a couple things I have to get done today. I am currently doing my stretch and folds for a couple loaves of bread. I think I'm gonna put like 6 loaves out. One is already pre-order, so she'll be picking hers up, but getting bread ready. I gotta get all my eggs organized and ready to get put up there. And then we'll put a few things up tonight, and then we'll end up putting the rest up in the morning, like the bread and stuff. I don't put that. The bread will go up in the morning. I might put the eggs up tonight once it cools off. Yeah, and then I have a bunch of peppers that we started, and when I transplanted them into bigger containers, I accidentally didn't keep the labels with them. So we have like 6 or 8 pepper plants that we don't know what they are, and our raised bed for peppers is full. So I think I'm gonna put those up there as just like pepper roulette. You get what you get. Yeah, for like $2 a piece, because I can't guarantee what you're getting, I'm sorry. But they're either red bell peppers, green bell peppers, or jalapenos. So nothing wild, but yeah, I just didn't do a great job at keeping track of that when I transplanted them. This is what happens when I'm left in charge. So that's the plan, getting everything kind of together. I'm gonna take you guys with us today as we get our stuff together for opening tomorrow. I said, where are we going?
She's like, where are you? Where were you? He's like, why did you go down? Where's my chicken?
We taking Sugar to the groomas?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Why?
So one thing I wanted to offer with the stand was some soap options. I've never made soap before to sell, but I have made it before as like a DIY Christmas gift. And I also like to keep some goat soap with lavender in it around for my kids, because my youngest does have slightly sensitive skin, and I just found this to be a good alternative for when he needs something a little gentler. So I just knew that I wanted to offer something like that up at the stand as a little additive to what we were already going to have up there. I ended up making a lavender goat soap, and like I said, this is just a melt and pour base, but I do like to add a couple things to it. In the past, I've always added a raw unfiltered honey, which I did for this one as well. It's just a really good nourishing property to have in your soaps. And then in the past I did almond oil, but I had jojoba oil on hand, and so I put that in there, as well as the lavender essential oils and a little bit of vitamin E oil, which, if you don't know, vitamin E oil is so wonderful for your skin. And so I pretty much add it to anything I make that's going to go on our skin. And a lot of the things I used in this recipe I got off of Amazon, so I will link everything below to include the soap bases that I use, because I did do this and a honey soap, as well as the molds and any other supplies that I ended up getting off of Amazon. The next thing I had to do after we dropped the dog off and I got the soaps made and everything was paint our roadside sign. So this quite literally is a palette that I pulled out of my woods that was by my chicken coop, and I painted it the same color as the farm stand itself, and then just went in with a chalk marker and kind of drew out where I wanted the letters to go and traced over them with white paint. And we had a brief intermission for a toddler meltdown, but once he was good to go, we were able to get back to work. But I really like the way it turned out. I will say that where we sit on the road, it's not super visible until you're like right up on us, as far as like where to turn goes, but it's okay, and it's a good solution for the time being, and it was a free sign essentially. Overall, for a free sign, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
So I have 4 dozen here, 3 dozen, and then I have 2 dozen in the old pack. So it looks like we'll be taking around 9 dozen up tomorrow. Actually, it'll probably be 10 because I have eggs that I just washed. Dry, like I had to wash them off because some of them had some grossness on them. So it'll probably be closer to 10. I always keep the oldest eggs and the newest eggs I always keep the oldest eggs for us, so I can boil them and stuff. I've just found that like when you have farm fresh eggs, boiling ones that are like a week or 2 old always just peel better. So I always keep the oldest ones for us. So these are eggs that we've gotten. We get about 20 eggs a day. So these are eggs we've gotten within the last week, and they do stay on the counter. And if we do have to wash them, it is just very much like dipping them in some water and like wiping any like chicken poop off. So they're not like actually washed. They're just cleaned up a little bit. But even still, I don't really stress getting all the poop off because I feel like it's just how it is. When you have farm fresh eggs, they might have poop on them. And hello, Pamela. Hi, Sissy boy.
Sissy, our donkey.
Sissy is our donkey. Hello. Did you have a good bath? Did you have a good bath? Yeah, you want to go get a pop cup? You want to go get a pop cup?
The next thing I had to do was get my loaves shaped and into the refrigerator so they could cold proof. This was like midday, which meant they were only going to be able to cold proof for probably like 6 to 7 hours. And I normally like to do a cold proof overnight, but I just didn't have that kind of time. And so I worked with what I could and got them into the refrigerator probably around like 12 o'clock. And it ended up being fine. It's not normally the timeline I like to work with, but I do make my loaves at about 925 grams pre-bake, and that normally makes for a 800 to 830 gram loaf when they are done baking. This is something that I found kind of works for me, but obviously if you're doing sourdough, naturally you want to find what works for you. baking temperatures that I have found work really well for my kitchen and my sourdough loaves are 485 for 25 minutes with the lid on, and then I will remove the lid, drop the temperature to 425, and bake for another 15 minutes. Again, this will vary per kitchen, per sourdough starter, per all things, but after playing around for a little bit, this seems to suit my loaves. The last thing we had to do for the day was get the sign out on the road. And like I said, we did paint both signs because we have a good bit of traffic going each way. Going one way is going into a small beach town near us, and then going the other way is headed out towards the main part of the town. So we wanted to have visibility on both sides. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you can catch us in the next one where we show you guys our opening day for our stand.